Hey, what's up again, YouTube? It's me, Foxtrot, and you're watching FoxtrotTalks. So, as you all probably know, Pokemon Go has kind of taken the world by storm with a lot of people playing this game. And it's recently got me thinking about the old school Pokemon and how cool of a game that was. So everybody's played Pokemon or experienced Pokemon one way or another. Like maybe you watched the TV show or you played one of the bazillion games they have from the OG Red and Blue all the way up to Black and White 2 or XY, whatever they're at now. It's kind of weird that they finally ran out of colors. Like, you knew eventually it was going to happen, but now they switched to letters. And then I think they're coming out with, was it Dawn and something now? So now they're just going on to opposites, which is kind of too bad. But anyways, tangent. I want to talk about how the new Pokemon stand up to some of the old ones. Now, before we get into it, I think I should explain that my background with Pokemon comes all the way back to when it first came out, because yes, I'm a little bit old. Like, I played Blue, I played Silver, I played Ruby, I played Pearl, and I think that's as far as I went. So those are sort of games I'm basing these off of. And my bone I'm trying to pick here is that some of the new designs are kind of crappy. I know, shocking, right? So one thing I'm not really going to touch on, but I'd like to mention is that I'm going to avoid talking about the knockoffs of like the staple Pokemon. So like, you know, the kinds like how Pidgey is a really common bird Pokemon, but in every single game there is a common bird Pokemon like Tailo or Pidove, which are both just basically Pidgeys, or there's like Zubat and it's this Woobat. Like they made a Zubat knockoff that they called Woobat. They just rhymed Zubat, they got Woobat, that's it. And that's not even touching on the fact that, like, why would you make another Zubat? Nobody likes Zubat. They're the most annoying Pokemon, and even in Pokemon Go, they're super annoying. And then, of course, there's also Sandshrew and Drillbur, but, like, it's fine. You can do that sort of thing with the same sort of concept, but different, like, names, animals, because there's only so much you can really do, and I understand that. See, my problem comes when you start doing things like I'm going to talk about next. So first off, I want to talk about Yamisk and Cofragigus, which are ghost-type Pokemon that starts out as this little black blob thingy, and then it turns into like a sarcophagus with like ghost hands. And like, I think these designs, like, they suck. Like, why would you want a sarcophagus Pokemon? Who would go out of their way to catch a sarcophagus? Like, it's just not interesting to use a coffin to fight. Now, like, they're also like mummy Pokemon, so like, they could have come up with like so many better things for like a mummy Pokemon. Like, look at Dusclops, he kind of looks like a mummy. They should have made something like him. So like, a coffin does not make a good Pokemon in my opinion. So next up we have Trubbish and Grabador, which are garbage Pokemon. And no, that's not a joke. They're literally garbage Pokemon. They are a pile of garbage. Like, come on, they couldn't think of anything better than a pile of garbage. Like, they're all sitting in like their meeting room trying to think of Pokemon. They're all like, oh, what haven't we come up with yet? We've done like a mouse, we've done like a turtle. Oh, you know what we haven't done? We haven't done garbage. Let's make a pile of garbage Pokemon, and then like, that's fine. Put it in. Call it Trubbish and Grabador. Come on. So our next crappy design Pokemon are Vanillite, Vanilush, and Vanillux. So in case you couldn't realize there, all those names sound like vanilla, and that's exactly what this Pokemon is. It is a vanilla ice cream cone. Like, that's not even good at all. I don't know what to say. Like, is there a gym in an ice cream store? Can you catch this guy in like the frozen dessert aisle in your grocery store? Like, how did they come up with this one? I don't even know. There's honestly like so many of these designs that like I don't even know, like, why would you even make something like this? Like, make another Pikachu. Make 2 more Pikachus. People would love that. Don't make things like Chandelure. Like, it's a chandelier. I don't understand. Like, is every chandelier a Pokemon? Is it like a chandelier that's possessed by a ghost? Like, what is interesting or fascinating about having a chandelier? Like, it's not a good design, guys. It's not. And then we come to Cryogonal, which is the snowflake Pokemon. Like, this one is like, I don't, like, again, like, where do you catch this one? Does it come down from the sky when it snows? Is every snowflake a Cryogonal? Am I gonna step on one when I'm walking in the cold Canadian winters? But like, even the design is the worst part about this one. The worst part is that they didn't use like the basics of a snowflake to design these. Like every snowflake is different, right? So they should have like tried to make every Cryogonal kind of look different. Like I don't like that might be easier said than done, but like it doesn't have to be anything extreme. It can just be like little subtle things. Like maybe it has a few more spikes or something. And like you don't need an infinite number of unique ones. Like maybe, I don't know, 10. Like that would be enough to be kind of like, oh, okay, so there's different ones out there. But no, it's just like they're all a snowflake and they all look like the same snowflake, which is just, it's just not realistic, guys. So the last one I want to talk about is Klefki, which is just a key Pokemon. And there's actually a funny story behind how this one was made. So one of like the designers for Pokemon had a bad habit of forgetting his keys everywhere. So whenever somebody asked him, like people would ask him all the time, like, do you have your keys? And he was like, oh, I should make a Pokemon that's a key. So he made Klefki. And no, that's not true. That just makes Pokemon more interesting. Now, I don't know a lot about how this Pokemon works in the game, but it'd be pretty cool if you could like unlock things or something. As long as it's not another HM move. I would go crazy if there were more HM moves because those things are the worst. But if robbers had Klefkis and used them to rob houses and stuff, then that would kind of be a saving grace for Klefki, because then at least like its form matches its function, you know? Alright guys, that's it for this episode. I just want to reinforce that I'm just talking trubbish here. Like, I like Pokemon, I think Pokemon's great. I just wanted to bring attention to the fact that some of these designs aren't super great, but even so, you're still allowed to like them. I'm just not a fan of the fact that they're replacing inanimate objects with Pokemon. It's like if you look at like the show or like the original games, like Pokemon replace animals. So instead of having like dogs and cats, you have like Growliths and Meowths, which is kind of cool. So I think it's just strange when they start taking inanimate objects like snowflakes or sarcophaguses or keys, something like that, and turning them into Pokemon. Like I don't know, like make more of an animal. Like take another animal, make another Pokemon out of it. Like that's fine, you can have duplicates. It's Gucci. Like give a Pidgey and a Spearow. It's like have a whole bunch of mouse Pokemon and like turtles or whatever. Anyway, that's it for my ramble. If you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to my channel for more in the future. And leave me a comment in the comment section down below about what your favorite Pokemon is. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.